Hello everyone and welcome to the PWC Season 14, to the first match against Kung Fu Panda 4. And the PWC is an National Dex Draft League in Gen 9, but in this Draft League are a lot of English people. That's because I speak English, but there's also a few German people like Tronell and Caracasa. Yeah. Dude, Kung Fu Panda 4 has a squad with Articuno, Mega Diancie, Darkrai, Gouging Fire, Rotom Wash, Nidoqueen, Cobalion, Mesprit, Shaman, Licky and Avalok History, and Articuno is his Terra Captain and my Terra Captain is the Flygon. And yeah, I think actually he brings his first 4 Pokemon actually, and the Rotom Wash and probably Mesprit. He has a really big fighting weakness because his fighting resists are Nidoqueen and Gallade has the Zen Headbutt. And he has the Mesprit. Yeah, Mesprit is a solid check to Mega Gallade, but Mega Gallade can learn Knockoff. And Mesprit has no recovery, no healing options. I mean, yeah, it can Pain Split, but Pain Split is not really an reliable recovery option. Yeah, or he play Rest, but I think Rest Mesprit is a horrible set actually. Yeah. And I actually have really problems with the Mega Diancie, the Darkrai and the Gouging Fire. The 3 are really strong. Gouging Fire with the Ranked and setup set is really scary, really strong, very strong against my squad. Then he have the Darkrai. The Sweet type with fastest mon Kilowatt Drill, and Darkrai can learn a lot of moves. He can Thunderbolt for my Elemomola and Skarmory, he can Ice Beam for my Flygon, he has Sludge Bomb for my Florges, he has a Focus Blast for the Chiyu to revenge kill it anytime, every time, yeah. And the Mega Diancie makes also a lot of damage with Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Mystical Fire for my Skarmory, and yeah, his 4th slot is actually a filler move. I mean, he can play off Earth Power for the Glimmora or Stealth Rock or Spikes or even Substitute or something. Yeah. Diancie needs 3 moves in this matchup. Yeah. The Rotom Wash is a good pivot and a good defogger for his team, and Rotom Wash can switch in Chiyu with a lot of special defensive investment. Yeah, and the Mesprit is, yeah, he's checked to Mega Gallade, ne? And Articuno, the Terra Captain, is also very good against my team. Also, yeah. He can also bring Nidoqueen. Yeah, offensive Nidoqueen looks not bad against my team. But he has only 6 slots in his team. And yeah, Cobalion looks not very good. Shaman looks actually really terrible against my team. Licky is okay. It can heal his team with Wish, and Avalok History is not very good at all. Actually terrible. Yeah. Good. I show you my team build for the first week in the PWC season. Yeah, we have our Mega Gallade. Yeah, he has a big fighting weakness and close comments and headbutt and knockoff hit his entire team. And yeah, we play, also yeah, we are max speed Mega Galate because we speed type with the Mega Diancie. And yeah, Mega Galate is probably our win condition, or it yeah, he hits hard in his team and open doors for our Scarf Geo. Then Scarf Geo is really strong. It outspeed Mega Diancie, Darkrai, +1 Gouging Fire, Cobalion, and yeah, we play Modest Geo because I think the Gouging Fire runs always Adamant. I outspit an Adamant 252 Gouging Fire, and yeah, we have Fire plus Flamethrower, Dark plus Psychic. I only need my Dual Steps. Psychic is a reliable move to 2-hit KO Mega Diancie. Yeah, even Fire Blast 2-hit KOs Mega Diancie, but Fire Blast can miss and Psychic cannot miss. And yeah, I really think the Gouging Fire runs always Adamant, because why he need a Jolly Nature? A Adamant Gouging Fire of +1 outspeed anyways my team, yeah. Then we have Florges with the special defensive invest to check Darkrai, Heavy Duty Boots, Moonblast, Defog, Aromatherapy and Synthesis. Synthesis as recovery, Aromatherapy to cure status, Defog to remove entry hazards. He has like 4 or 5 rock setters and he has toxic spikes. Yeah, there are a lot of hazards, and Florges with the Heavy Duty Boots and the Defog can remove hazards very quickly. And yeah, the Moonblast makes a lot of damage against the Darkrai. Yeah, we have a lot of special defensive investment to check the Darkrai. Even Specs Darkrai can't 2-hit KO Florges with Sludge Bomb. Yeah. Then we have our Sinistra with the leftovers, Calm and Strange Step set, Shadow Ball and Matcha Gacha. This thing is a beast because an Adamant Heat Crush from Gouging Fire can't 2-hit KO Sinistra, which is insane, dude. I mean, yeah, it has the hit proof ability and solid defense, but this thing can take even a +2 Heat Crush from Gouging Fire and can heal with the Strange Step against the Gouging Fire, yeah, which is very insane, very strong. Yeah, we have enough speed to outspeed and paralyze Darkrai because we have a Alolan Persian with the Thunder Wave. Yeah, Thunder Wave can paralyze the Darkrai and Sinistra outspeed Darkrai. And yeah, Alolan Persian is the check for the Gouging Fire, my best check, probably my only check to Gouging Fire, because Elmomola is very passive and allows Gouging Fire to sub against Elmomola, and Elmomola breaks with the flip turn never a sub from the Gouging Fire. And yeah, Alolan Persian has the Foul Play, the Taunt, the Thunder Wave and the Parting Shot, physical defense, and yeah, Foul Play makes great damage to Gouging Fire. We have the Taunt and the Parting Shot and the Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave can also paralyze an Diancie in his base form. Then Diancie in his base form has Clear Body and stop my Parting Shot, and yeah, he can think, yeah, I switch my base Diancie in the Alolan Persian because I prevent the Parting Shot momentum and can safely go in the Mega Evolve with Diancie. Yeah, a Thunder Wave is a really strong teach to predict the Diancie switch, and Diancie is a really big threat, and when it's paralyzed, then it's not a big threat when it's take the Thunder Wave. Yeah, and we have our Terra Captain with the Flygon, with the leftovers of Kyutan, Stealth Roost, a special defensive set. Terra Steel Flygon is my check to Mega Diancie and to Nidoqueen, and a Mystical Fire has like 10% chance to do it KO me after leftovers recovery. And yeah, we have a little bit speed invest to outsped an uninvested Cobalion. Yeah, and a Rotom Wash, which runs like a little amount of speed. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I really wish I had a fifth moveset for the Toxic. Then Toxic is good against the Articuno, the Rotom Wash, the Mesprit, but I need the Earthquake, the U-turn and the Roost, and I really like Stealth Rock against the Gouging Fire and the rest of the team. Yeah, the Articuno, and I have a knockoff user with Mega Galate, which means I can knock the heavy duty boots from Articuno and maybe from Gouging Fire, and then they are weak to my Stealth Rocks. Yeah, and Stealth Rock makes it a solid chip against his team and brings his team in range of Geo and Mega Galate. Yeah. Good. I didn't have the slot for the Toxic, unfortunately, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, this is my team for the first week of the PWC Season 14. Yeah. We will see how things goes. Yeah. Against Kung Fu Panda 4. This matchup is actually really hard. Alright, we are in the game against Kung Fu Panda 4. And he brings obviously his Terra Captain Articuno, Gouging Fire, Mega Diancie, Mesprit, Darkrai and Rotom Wash. And actually these are his squad. Also, they are the 6 Pokemon I actually predict against my squad. Which means my team prediction was very good, but these 6 Pokemon are... They just good against me. Probably his best squad he can bring against me. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I lead with my Flygon because I will go turn 1 in my Terra Steel because I need the Terra Steel early on the Flygon to check this Mega Diancie and maybe the Darkrai and the Articuno. Yeah, he switches out the Mesprit, pretty obvious because Flygon can run a Choice Scarf. Yeah, I go in the Terra Steel and U-turn out in my Geo. And Geo can click a Dark Pulse very free. Yeah, the Diancie came in and took 30% from a modest Dark Pulse. Yeah, we go to Flygon, he goes in his Mega Evolve and yeah, he can predict with Mystical Fire, but we lift the second Mystical Fire. The second Mystical Fire comes and yeah, I roost against the Mystical Fire. And yeah, he has the Encore Teach, which is a very good prep. I locked into Roost, which means I must switch out. I go into my Florges in the Moonblast. And yeah, he goes to his Mesprit. I click Moonblast, make a solid damage. Mesprit is Half-Life and I go back to my Flygon. And yeah, Mesprit set up Stealth Rock. I set up my own rocks and Mesprit goes for the Pain Split. And I U-turn out in my Alolan Persian. I switch with the Toxic. And then I double back into the Flygon. He's pain splitting again and recovers not much HP. Yeah, he goes to the Rotom Wash and I go for the Roost. Yeah, that was a very long game actually because our teams are pretty bulky. Yeah, I go to my Florges, he defogs, and yeah, that's actually very good, which means I didn't must use defog, so Moonblast makes 20% on the Articuno. Yeah, I see that's a special defensive Articuno. Yeah, he goes to his Gouging Fire and he has the booster energy item. And I calc with the Dragon Dance Gouging Fire, but not with the booster energy set. But I go instantly in my Elron Persian, he subs. He uses sub. And yeah, he goes for the Dragon Dance. Our 4-play breaks obviously his substitute. And yeah, Elron Persian takes the Heat Crash. Yeah, and the foul play is not enough to KO the Gouging Fire, but I have the Choice Scarf Geo. Because I sack my Elron Persian and I go in my Scarf Geo. But listen, I am a modest Scarf Geo. And the Gouging Fire can run a Jolly Nature, but I say it before, I think it's Adamant Gouging Fire and there's no reason for him to run a Jolly Gouging Fire. That's because I go into my Geo and click Dark Pulse, but the Gouging Fire is Jolly and KOs my Geo with Dragon Claw, and that's really bad. But luckily I have also my Sinistra, and Sinistra takes a +2 Heat Crash and KO the Gouging Fire with the Shadow Ball. I shouldn't go into Sinistra first and KO the Gouging Fire. Yeah, because I had my full life Scarf Geo and Geo looks very good against this team. Yeah, that was probably a mistake, but I saw a way to sweep with Sinistra, but if I set up 1 or 2 Callmates, he has problems to break through Sinistra, and I have the Aromatherapy for his Toxic. Yeah. Probably should I anyways go to Sinistra because Geo is dead now. Yeah. He goes to Darkrai. I have my switch in with Florges. He goes for the Sludge Bomb. It's okay. I calc the Sludge Bomb damage and see this Darkrai is modest or timid expert belt. Yeah, he switches out into the Articuno. I Moonblast the Articuno. And we see leftovers Articuno, no heavy duty boots. Yeah, I heal against the Freeze Dry. And yeah, the Articuno was very difficult for me to break actually. Yeah. I switch Flygon in a Toxic. And then he goes in Mega Diancie. I click U-turn. And go in my Florges. He goes to Articuno. Yeah, I Moonblast. He's Freeze Dry. Yeah, we trade damage. Here I go in the Fly. I got a Moonblast drop. yeah, he roosts, and yeah, he goes to the Rotom Wash. I U-turn probably. No, I set up my Stealth Rock. Yeah, Magic Bounce 50/50 every time was also pretty annoying. Yeah. And the Rotom Wash can use Defog immediately to remove the Stealth Rock. I go into the Sinistcha, but he goes for the Hydro Pump. I thought he defogs his hazards, his rocks. Then, yeah, I see that I had the chance to recover my Sinistcha, but he uses Hydro Pump instead of a defog. Yeah, a second Hydro Pump KOs Sinistcha. I go to the Florges, and yeah, he connects his second Hydro Pump. And then defog. And then he uses defog. Yeah, I go for the Moonblast chip damage. And yeah, he re-switches out into the Articuno. I use Moonblast. I heal up with Synthesis. Yeah. This match is very long. Very long. Yeah. Flygon takes a critical freeze dry. That doesn't matter. Yeah. He goes into the Diancie, predicting of my Stealth Rock, but I get a U-turn critical against the Diancie and switch in Florges. He switches to Articuno. I really wish I had a Toxic to Toxic the Articuno, but yeah, the Articuno can't hit my Flygon. He goes for the freeze dry. And maybe he had Heal Bell as fourth move. Yeah, I U-turn against the Rotom, and I can go into Gallade. And we saw his moves. I thought he don't have a Will-O-Wisp. Even he has a Will-O-Wisp, I have the Aromatherapy. I predict a Mesprit switch out here and go in my Mega and click SD Sword Stance. And yeah, he has the Kulba Berry he lifts the knockoff and Toxic my Mega Gallade, which is fine by me. And yeah, I KO the Mesprit, which means I can freely just click Cross Combat later in the game. And he switches in Darkrai. That was a spicy situation. Then I live Dark Pulse from the Darkrai and can kill the Darkrai, but I thought I need the Mega Gallade on a good health, and I have the Florges. They can very freely switch into a Darkrai, and I thought he must use Dark Pulse. He can't risk that I stay in and click Close Combat and KO his Darkrai. I thought he goes for the Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse can free. Yeah, I brought my Mega Gallade healthy. Yeah, I go into the Florges, and we see the foul play. Yeah, that was also a really insane prep. Luckily, I switch out into the Florges. Yeah, the Gallade drops to foul play, and yeah, I have really problems to win this game with this 3 defensive Pokemon. Yeah, I switched into Florges. Yeah, he's switching in his Rotom Wash. I Aromatherapy. I cue the Toxic of Mega Gallade from the Mega Gallade. And yeah, he goes for the Pain Split. And yeah, we know this Rotom. We know the Rotom didn't has the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, he goes through the Articuno, and yeah, we heal on the Florges. Yeah, I go back to Flygon. He's click Toxic, but I'm immune. I set up the Stealth Rocks, and yeah, he predict my switch out in Florges with the Toxic. I U-turn and go into my Florges, and he uses Toxic, but I have the Aromatherapy. I go to the Flygon, he freeze dries, I U-turn into Florges, and he freeze dries, gets a critical hit, but doesn't matter at all. I cure the Toxic, I go to the Sinistcha of a defog, then Hydro Pump makes 20% damage, and with one left Oath recovery, I can take an Hydro Pump and can heal against the Rotom Wash. And yeah, this is why I go switch in my Florges, and he hits the Hydro Pump for the third time. He switches into Articuno, I heal. If I click Synthesis and switch into Flygon in a Toxic, and yeah, he goes to the Mega Lines, but I click set Stealth Rocks, and yeah, which means he bounced my Stealth Rock. Was not the error from the egg, but okay, because Galate and Flygon resist the Stealth Rock damage, and Florges has the heavy duty boots. Yeah, and I forgot the Encore. Yeah, I shouldn't switch out into my Florges instead. Yeah, but I forgot the Encore. Yeah, I sack my Sinistcha on Moonblast, and then I go in Florges, yeah, and he switched out into Articuno. I defog the Stealth Rock. No, I click Moonblast and takes a freeze dry and defog after the Moonblast. Yeah. Then I switch out into the Flygon in a Toxic. I click Earthquake to cover a Diancie switch, actually. And yeah, he freezes with the freeze dry. I mean, yeah, after 64 turns, and he uses freeze dry 9 times. Yeah, a freeze is here very likely after 9 freeze dries, but I have the Aromatherapy actually, so yeah. The freeze doesn't hurt actually a lot. Yeah, I switch into Florges. He goes for a freeze dry and he freezes a second time. That's very unlucky. Yeah, after 9 freeze dries, 1 freeze is very, yeah, it's clear that in the long run comes the freeze, but 2 freezes back to back freeze is very unlucky. Yeah, I must go for the Aromatherapy. I have here very little choice. I hope I fall out, but I frozen. But Florges fought out and can aromatherapy to heal the freeze from Florges, which is very huge. He misses a toxic, which unlucky for him, but bro, he gets 2 freezes back to back. Yeah, I go to the Flygon here. I set up my rocks. I U-turn out. Yeah. Yeah, I skipped this match because also I skip a few turns because we are in turn 71. And yeah, I go into the Gallade of the Defog and hit, and I can click freely and close combat. And yeah, after a CC drop, I lift the Hydro Pump, and close combat claims actually an KO. He sacrifices Diancie, which is very good for me. I can fully set up my stealth rocks. He goes to the Darkrai and I go to Florges. And yeah, he Sludge Bombs me. Luckily no poison. I lift the second Sludge Bomb and the Moonblast hits the Darkrai very hard. And I sack my Florges here. And I go to the Flygon. He switches in the Articuno. I U-turn out because I wasn't not sure. The Darkrai can't have Focus Blast, and when he clicks Focus Blast and I click Stealth Rock, I lost actually the game to Darkrai on this spot. That's because I click U-turn to KO the Darkrai when he uses Focus Blast. Yeah, U-turn was my best play, and yeah, I must go to Gallade, but I switch. I go into the Flygon, obviously, into the Freeze Ray. Luckily, no third freeze, and I can fully set up my Stealth Rock. He goes to the Darkrai, and yeah, this is a very spicy turn. He clicks a Focus Blast and Flygon lives with 1 HP and KO the Darkrai. That was a modest Darkrai, and the Focus Blast makes max damage 85%, and I was of 86%. This Focus Blast has a 6% chance to KO. Very unlucky, but he hits my Flygon of 1 HP with the Focus Blast, and yeah, the Darkrai dies. The Stealth Rocks are up, and yeah, he goes to his Articuno, and with no heavy duty boots, yeah, he go in his Terra Water. Close combat KOs the Articuno, and the Rotom Wash is like 4%, which means every move KOs the Rotom. And yeah, that was a very close week 1 match against Kung Fu Panda 4. 1 singular HP saved the match. Saved the match against Kung Fu Panda 4. Absolutely crazy. That was an insane match. An insane prep with the Encore and the 4-play teach. And yeah, I'm actually really glad I won this matchup against Kung Fu Panda 4. Yeah, I hope I get a better matchup on match day 2. I hope, yeah. But I anyways won the really hard matchup. GG's Kung Fu Panda 4, and we see us on the match day 2 of the PWC season 14. And I didn't tell you, yeah, I won this draft league 2 times in the highest division, and I am this season also in the champs division, in the highest division, yeah. And I will defend my 2 titles in this draft league, and yeah, I have 3 points, I have 1 win, and yeah, we see us match day 2. Ciao.